Hello, I'm Michael Elliott. I'm here with Neil Postlethwaite, Scott Burnett, and Ted Connell. Welcome.
Thanks, Michael. Great to be here. I'm the product manager for our Internet of Things Foundation, part of IBM Software Group. I'm here really as the buzz ramps up around IoT to help folks get their devices connected to the cloud.
My name is Scott Burnett, Michael, and I am the Global Consumer Electronics Director for IBM, and I deal with all of the electronics industry, and as you know, all of us, everything's connecting and dealing with the value proposition and their path to the future.
Brilliant.
And I'm Ted Connell. I lead the Internet of Things go-to-market for the industrial sector in North America, and working with a lot of electronics companies and other companies to actually monetize the Internet of Things.
So we're here right now to talk about smart objects for fitness and healthcare. I'd like to kind of get your thoughts on that industry and that growth and what you're seeing there.
Well, you know, when it comes to the Fitbits, which we all kind of refer to as far as the general classification of these things, it's all about the data that they're generating or that they have access to that's finding its way into the cloud, as Neil will maybe elaborate on, and being able to have that data flow to where it needs to go for the consumer to have the value that they're looking for, whether it be weight reduction with some of these things on the health and well-being side, whether it be monitoring that have to do with patients or hospital to home kind of applications, or even the fantasy of a ring, which we've seen at CES, which are actually remotely controlling devices
with the light bulbs.
It's all a buzz. It's everywhere, and it's exploding at this year's CES. And IBM has a service infrastructure that we can talk to you about that is helping these companies make it to the promised land, if you will, without having to recreate or build their own iCloud kind of environment.
Well, let's talk about it. How are you getting them to the promised land?
Yeah, so I think that's where some of my work comes and the team's work comes into play, where we're working with a lot of our silicon partners to make sure that the silicon that's actually going into those fitness devices has the capabilities to automatically and very quickly and easily connect to the cloud, where you can start to get the benefits as a consumer that Scott is talking about. You can get easy communication to the cloud down to your mobile device. You can understand your activities for the day, maybe how you can improve your health. And then we look at what are the other business models that enables, to Ted's point, around monetization. So, how can that data be then monetized from maybe an insurance company or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. So the business models, the connection in and of itself is nice and it might make a big splash in the market, but what's the value? To get the value out of these connected devices, obviously we have to create value for the end user. And as we bring this data up, I can then look at this in context of how you walk around with the Fitbit, but then what if you compare that to your buying habits at your grocery store with your loyalty cards? Your grocery store knows more about you than Google does.
Right.
Because you physically touch them. It's not a digital touch, it's a physical touch. So I can now take that and I can take my RX information coming from the drugstores and I can build a profile of why my health is the way it is and then look at how can I move forward to change what health I have. So it actually can then influence you, and through mobile devices or your Fitbit, it can remind you of what your plan was in real time to help you implement the plans that you've put together.
Ted, let me bring it to something really interesting that we're doing. So you take the medical data or the Fitbit, let's say I need to lose weight and I need to prepare the right kind of food, right? The recipes, what do I cook? What do I cook tonight? So we're showing IBM's Watson, which I think everybody's familiar with, called Chef Watson implementation for recipes with Bon Appetit, connected to a Miele programmable oven, steam oven. So I can now say, you know what, I need to eat carrots or more vegetables. I need to avoid corned beef. I need to avoid gluten. All right. Chef Watson is then spitting out 100 recipes for which I can say, "Wow, surprise me," or I could say, "Give me something traditional." That data is being published directly up into IBM's cloud and service capability, as Neil was talking about, down to the oven, and the oven is programmed to then tell you, this is what you do, Scott, in order to prepare the meal.
And if I may, the cool thing here is because of the way we build our cloud using the Open Cloud Foundry protocols, is we can bring APIs in from any other company, like the grocery store, like the drugstore, and other people innovation, entrepreneurs can build applications and pull these APIs and innovate on our platform. So it's an open platform to really spur innovation in the B2B to C space.
So you're really involved from not only the creation of the Internet of Things objects, to the transference of that data, to the storage of the data, to the analytics of the data, the big data. So what are you not doing?
From the standpoint of the devices, IBM does not make devices. And the technology inside those devices, IBM has software for security, embedded software, and work with Intel's and other companies, Texas Instruments associated with their chip and their architecture to connect to our cloud. But then, to us, it's not, we make the tools, not the rules, so to speak. We implement what the clients want to do, where we don't make the devices, but we make the services and provide the analytics and capabilities on the back end. That is so difficult to do.
And so we enable our clients to get global scale paying per device on a SaaS-type basis. So they don't have to invest in an infrastructure. We are the infrastructure.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate taking time today with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.